or the point that he's trying to make here on where a lot of studies have shown that you know age is really nothing but a number, and and most of the time we've thought that age is age, right? You get old and that's part of life, and you're gonna wither away. And I've met a lot of individuals that are older that do have. Hey everybody, we are back. We're back, and I wanted to just piggyback from my last video on something that I've been kind of thinking about since I read it here in the book, Psycho-Cybernetics, and I finished the book. Awesome book. I hope you guys pick it up somehow, audiobook it, whatever. Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. Especially now with quarantine, I think is an awesome book to kind of get our perspectives and our thought processes in line. But he was questioning on and showing studies about how most people throughout the years, how they stay fresh, how they stay young, and how they stay so what's the word, kind of just looking forward to the next, like they're they feel like they need to stay alive, they need to be uh, ready for the next year, next day, next weekend, next week, next decade, century. They are never, what's that word called? They don't have that lack of lust for life, and one of the biggest things I think all of us do go through some obviously traumatic situations, some really hard times, and I think we all got been there. We've probably you know will repeat it multiple times. It's just part of what life is, and he talks about how life is basically adaptation. And I follow this great individual as well on Instagram, and they go by the Moy Apparel, the couple. Their brand is basically about how most of life is learning to adapt in any situation. Life is always adapting, right? And the only constant, as I always heard in other quotes, a famous quote, I forgot who said it, the only constant in life is change. So right now, all these changes that are happening around us could be scary, could be, very, I would say, very weird in the sense that we don't know we never been here before, especially if you're just, if you're like myself. I think I'm considered a millennial. I'm not sure. If you're young parents, we have kids, and we never gone through this. It's very scary, very, I would say, could be overwhelming, right? So hold on a second. Rocky wants to join. What? Our dog wants to join, and basically, I really want to share the concept or the point that he's trying to make here on where a lot of studies have shown that you know age is really nothing but a number, and most of the time we've thought that age is age, right? You get old and that's part of life, and you're gonna wither away. And I've met a lot of individuals that are older that do have that energy. Like, hey, you know, they might think about something, starting something or doing something, and they don't feel like they are at that point in their lives anymore, right? They feel like they're too old, and we hear this every day. I've seen a lot of individuals that don't take action on things because they feel like they're too old, right? I graduated did my bachelor's with a one of my oldest classmates. She was, I think, in her 50s, and she had no worries. She said, my kids are grown. I went back to school and I finished what I really want to do. So those individuals that you feel like, wow, she didn't let age stop her from achieving what she wanted to achieve, which whatever it was that mattered to her. Everybody has their own inner drives, right? I think that's something that everybody has, and I don't know. I'm not no one to judge what it may be, but she didn't let age hold her back, and as I get older, we realize that sometimes we do say that to ourselves, "Oh, I'm too old for that. I can't do that anymore." And we kind of wither away. And he's giving us an example in the book where he says, there's a couple of examples, right? But they say one of the main factors that do keep us vibrant, young, um, staying healthy as much as we can, is getting that physical activity, and how important activity is. He says if you take away the physical activity of any individual, um, they basically age a lot faster. Let me see what it says here. Basically, mm, it has to do scientifically where the lack of exercise causes our capillaries to constrict and virtually disappear, and supply of life-giving blood through our tissues is drastically curtailed. So, if we could take anything away from this, is try to stay active. Whatever it is you do, take walks, walk your dog, as much as you can. If you do some type of physical activity at your house, if you do workouts at home, whatever, just get moving. It doesn't have to be insane, massive uh, workouts, but something that can get the blood flowing, right? And I've always heard that, and now I understand what people say. Like, get the blood flowing in the body, get it moving. Some type of something that gets you breathing heavier than normal, and that can be a lot of things. If you know what I'm saying. But besides the point, staying young has a lot to do with just, it's very simple, but at the same time we kind of don't really think about it. And he's giving an example on how um, widowhood ages some women but not others, right? And the example is, if the widow feels that her life has come to an end and she has nothing to live for, her attitude gives outward evidence in her gradual withering her graying hair. Says, contrary, another case, another woman actually older begins to blossom. She may enter into competition for a new husband, or she may embark on a career in business, or she may do more than busy herself with an interest for which perhaps she has not had the leisure until now. And isn't that so? You see a lot of individuals out there that they never really, like I said, I met that my when I graduated back in '07. There was a lady in my class, a classmate, and that was her case. She said she never really had the time to go to school. She never really had the time to pursue her passions. And once her kids were out of the house, she went and she finished what she always wanted to finish, and she did not let age hold her back from pursuing her passions. And I think oftentimes now with these quarantine, all these times, a lot of individuals that have been thinking of doing things, you kind of have a lot of more time to think now. So maybe there's certain times that you want to try this, try that, and you never really tried it. You thought that you were too old for that. So this kind of concept right now, this video, is for those that think that you're too old to do something, or maybe too young to do something. Age is not a factor in any type of passion or drive you have. Our society just tells us that, but at the end of the day, what you want to do, it's up to you, no matter what age, right? And the fountain of youth, as we call it, is not really, although they sell it to us, right? Your skincare, multivitamins, what else? Whatever they want to give you, the making you look younger. The the actual basic emotions, right? Is faith, courage, interest, optimism, looking forward, and that brings us new life and more life, right? And the opposite, obviously, futility, pessimism, frustration, living in the past, are not only a characteristics of old age, but they contribute to it. So that's a big wake me up for me, because I often get frustrated a lot of things. I let frustration really get me sometimes. It's really hard for me to get over when I get frustrated over simple things, right? And if we want to go ahead and change and better ourselves now during this quarantine, let's have faith. Let's stay with the courage. Interest, keep yourself interested in something that you have, that you love that you're interested in, some type of hobby. Optimism. So optimism is so crucial. It's so hard to be optimistic, especially now when everything's not going against us. It's not going our way. I don't care who you are. Nobody saw this coming. Everything's put on hold. We have a new schedule in front of us that we don't even know what it is. And just looking forward for better days, looking forward for um, even better, but even a lot more than what we expected. Looking forward to things to get back to um, where we're able to go and interact with our family members and friends and hang out and go to a movie and go shopping without having to have all this mask and this worried about this virus. Just stay looking forward. We can't lose that. I think that is one of the most vital ingredients we need right now. Aside from staying informed, or staying healthy and staying safe, stay optimistic. Staying looking forward to the better days. Um, Keep yourself interested. Do things that interest you, whether it be crafts, whether it be surfing the web, looking up videos of certain things, learning how to cook, learning how to, I don't know, build something, whatever it is that calls you. Keep yourself interested, right? And don't let you. Is also keep your physical activity, right? Do something. Take a walk. Obviously, we gotta be more careful now, but wear a mask, go for a brisk walk. Maybe inside your do at-home workouts. You have thousands and thousands of videos on YouTube. A lot of personal trainers on here that have great videos that I've seen with my daughter's classmates and their teachers send it to us. There's a lot of great trainers on here giving you great home workouts with no weights, just your body weight. Keep yourself moving. Keep yourself uh, learning as well, learning new things, reading books. Keep yourself just active, mentally, emotionally, and optimistic. And try to limit frustration. It's gonna happen, but try to limit it. And hopefully, we stay young, and we will get through this. And I hope this video brings you guys some type of ease, some type of optimism to look forward to what's to come. And this is only a temporary setback. So I hope you guys are having fun, staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.